Hey, I was waiting for that spot.
Then you should have moved faster, buddy. Courtesy isn't a race. It's a choice. Choice? My choice was to park here. Guys like you always play the victim.
No, I play peace, even when you beg for war. What's that supposed to mean? It supposed to mean?
It means I've seen what real battle.
You scared now?
Fear isn't what keeps me still. Discipline does.
You served?
Navy. Special warfare.
You were military?
I was trained to protect people, even ones like you.
Move your car. The shout snaps the quiet morning in a packed parking lot. A couple slams their SUV into a space a young black man had patiently waited for, and that's the moment everything tilts. Insults fly. Bystanders stare. 10 minutes later, the entire lot goes silent as the truth drops like a thunderclap. Stay with this, because what he does next changes the whole scene. Saturday, sunlit, busy, the kind of day where everyone's in a rush. Marcus, early 30s, calm eyes, steady smile, signals for a spot, blinkers on, waiting. The grey SUV whips around, slips right into the space he'd been lined up for, tires screeching. Doors fly open. A man and woman step out, chins raised, energy hot. "Hey, I was waiting for that," Marcus says, voice even. No attitude, no edge, just fairness. But the couple isn't here for fairness. They roll their eyes. Words get ugly, fast, mocking, sneering, loud enough for everyone to hear. The insults aren't just rude. They're racist. A few people pull out phones. A kid clutches a parent's hand. The woman smirks. The man spreads his arms, steps closer. The air feels sharper. Sun bouncing off chrome. Shopping carts rattle in a jittery line. Somewhere, a car horn taps twice, like a warning. Marcus keeps his shoulders low, his palms open, his voice steady. "It's just a parking spot," he says. "You could have asked." "Should have moved faster," the man snaps, puffing himself up as if volume equals victory. The woman laughs, the mean kind that tries to make a scene feel like a joke. She tosses a phrase into the open air, one of those words that makes people flinch. A gasp ripples through the crowd. Phones tilt higher. Marcus doesn't flinch. He lets silence do the heavy lifting. He watches their feet, not their mouths. He notes the distance, the angle of the curb, the spill of shadows under the awning. Calm isn't empty. It's loaded with choices. He makes one. He backs his car out, slow, controlled. The blinker ticks like a metronome. He rolls 2 rows down and slides cleanly into another spot. Not a retreat, a reset. He steps out, locks up, and starts walking toward the store, grocery list folded in his pocket like a flag he refuses to wave. The couple can't stand it. The steady quiet, the refusal to feed the fire. "Yeah, keep walking," the woman shouts, as if his calm is a dare. The man makes a show of stretching his neck, cracking knuckles. The act is loud but empty. The noise without weight. A store employee pauses by a line of carts, unsure. 2 teens on skateboards roll to a stop, eyes wide, filming but also watching. Like they're waiting to see what grown-ups do when things go sideways. A veteran in a ball cap shakes his head slowly, reading the room like a map he's seen before. Marcus doesn't look back. He breathes in, counts, breathes out. His footsteps stay even. He's not above it, not beyond it. But he's not getting dragged into a storm that doesn't belong to him. He passes under the sliding door's shadow and feels the wave of cold air, so close he could step inside and be done. But he doesn't hide in the cool. He turns just enough to be seen by the crowd, to make eye contact with the kid, clinging to his mom's sleeve. "You okay?" he asks soft. The kid nods. The mom gives him a grateful look that says, "Thank you for not making this worse." The woman hovers near the SUV, phone out now, recording like she's directing a show. "Look at him," she says, narrating for nobody and everybody. Thinks he can do whatever he wants. The man steps forward, not touching, just invading space, trying to sell intimidation like it's confidence. Marcus keeps his hands visible. He angles his body sideways, offering no target, no challenge. "Let's all just shop," he says, not loud, not weak, balanced. The kind of tone that disarms more than any shout. "Walk away," someone whispers from the sidewalk. And he would. He will, that's the plan. But even quiet makes noise in a place like this. The couple feeds on audience, on echoes. Every second he doesn't snap is another second they push, so Marcus chooses again. He moves, one step, another, eyes forward. Shoulders square. There's a rhythm to it, a drumbeat only he can hear. Don't let them write your story. Don't trade your piece for their performance. He reaches the crosswalk lines painted on the asphalt, white bars bright as stage lights. The automatic doors breathe cool air behind a wall of glass. The day hums. The crowd holds its breath, waiting to see if calm wins. He could let it go. But the couple doesn't. The man moves to block Marcus's path. The woman circles, filming him, still spitting poison. What are you gonna do? She taunts. Marcus keeps his hands visible. I'm going to shop. Please step aside. That's when the man shoves him. Not hard enough to drop him, but hard enough to test him. Gasps ripple through the crowd. Someone says they're calling 911. Marcus studies the man's stance, the woman's angle, the distance to the curb. He isn't scared. He's alert. There's a difference, and you can feel it. He plants his feet, not rooted, but ready to move. His voice stays low, almost conversational. Sir, this isn't worth it. Step back. The woman laughs, mean and loud. He's scared, she tells the phones. Yeah, get this. She swings her camera for a tight shot, hungry for drama. Marcus angles his shoulders, a small shift that makes space without inviting more. He keeps his gaze level, not on the man's eyes. On his hands, his hips, the little tells that signal what's next. The SUV's engine ticks as it cools. His shopping cart rattles across a seam in the asphalt like a drum roll. Another shove. Bigger this time. Marcus absorbs it with a sliding step, breath steady. He doesn't grab. He doesn't swing. He raises his palms higher, open, empty. Don't put your hands on me, he says, the same words he'd use to tell a cashier he's paying cash. Calm can be louder than yelling. A teen on the curb calls out, Bro, leave him alone. A woman near the carts holds her phone over her heart, as if to steady it. I'm on with dispatch, someone says. Yes, the parking lot. There are cameras. The man puffs his chest, eager for the part where he gets to perform. You gonna make me? He jeers, stepping into Marcus's space, chin high, breath hot with coffee and challenge. The woman fans around behind Marcus, trying to frame him like a suspect. Go ahead, she says. Touch me. Let's see it. Please keep your distance, Marcus replies, cutting his words into clean, even pieces. No heat, no insults. You're being recorded, and here's the twist. He quietly taps his own screen, thumb quick and precise. A soft chime. His camera flips, catching his face, then the man, then the woman. My name is Marcus, he says for the record. I don't want trouble. I'm asking you both to stop, the man smirks. Oh, he's narrating now. He feints another lunge, a jerk forward meant to spark a flinch. Marcus doesn't give him the satisfaction. His weight stays balanced. His eyes track the shoulders, not the mouth. The smallest details become headlines. The shine on the man's knuckles, the scuff on his shoe, the flicker of the woman's wrist as she tries to catch every angle. Security's on the way, a store employee calls, voice shaking but brave. Two skateboarders coast to a halt, setting their boards down like shields. A veteran in a cap steps closer, not intervening, just witnessing. It changes the air, the way clarity does. Marcus shifts half a step to his left, aligning himself with the painted crosswalk and the store's glass doors. More cameras there. More light. We can end this, he says, steady as a metronome. Please step back. The man snaps his hands up, then down, a jittery dance of fake-out moves. He clips Marcus's shoulder with the edge of his palm, a stinging tap designed to bait a swing. Marcus exhales and lets it pass. Do not touch me again, he warns, tone level, eyes clear. This is on video, the woman hisses. He's playing the victim. She sweeps her camera from Marcus to the crowd, trying to stitch a story from noise. But the footage isn't cooperating. It shows a man not rising to bait. It shows patience under pressure. The narrative is slipping out of her hands. Back up, sir, Marcus repeats, a gentle anchor in the chaos. I don't want to hurt you. I don't want you to get hurt. The man scoffs at the word hurt like it's a dare. He reaches, fingers brushing for a grab at Marcus's shirt. Marcus shifts, a quiet, precise movement that guides the hand away without twisting, without pain. The man stumbles half a step. Bystanders gasp again, not at a hit, but at the absence of one. Control isn't flashy. It's undeniable. From somewhere behind a child's voice, Mom, why are they being mean? The question floats over everything, sharp as a bell. The woman falters, just for a blink. The man hesitates, his chest heaving. Marcus takes that breath and uses it. Everyone's filming, he says. This doesn't have to go where you think it's going. He looks at the woman's camera, then back at the man. You can still walk away. Silence, a tightrope. The clock inside the moment ticks. He can feel each second landing, one by one, like steps towards something inevitable. He sets his stance again, relaxed but ready, and lets his breathing settle into a steady rhythm. He's not waiting for permission. He's waiting for truth to catch up. 10 minutes. That's how long this will take to unravel. Minute 1-3, the man lunges again. Marcus angles his body, not attacking, just not giving ground. He keeps space. The man's hand snaps forward. Marcus redirects, calm as a tide turning, and the man stumbles past. No hits, no retaliation. Just control. The bystander calls out, "Hey man, chill!" The woman swears and tries to swing her bag. Marcus steps back, hands open, voice low. "Please stop." Cameras are on. Minute 4-6. A store manager appears at the doorway, frozen between stepping in and staying out. "Security's coming," she says. The couple turns their heat on her, yelling. Marcus takes the moment to look at the kid watching with wide eyes. "You okay?" he asks softly. The kid nods, clinging tighter to Mum. Minute 7-8. The man tries again, this time reaching for Marcus's shirt. That's when training shows, quietly. Marcus slips the grip and guides the man's wrist down without pain, just enough to make him stop moving. "I don't want to hurt you," he says, locking eyes. "But this ends now." The crowd sees it, the absolute control without cruelty. The woman shouts, "Let him go!" Marcus releases the hold the second the man stops resisting. Minute 9-10. Sirens, and 2 squad cars ease in. The scene shifts from chaos to consequence. Officers step out, hands low, voices measured. Everybody relax. The couple starts talking fast, pointing fingers, spinning the story. Phones stay up. The manager steps in. "We've got cameras. He didn't start this." Everyone take a breath, an officer says. Then to Marcus, "Sir, are you okay?" "I'm fine," he says. "I'd like to file a report." The officers separate everyone, maintaining calm as they guide the crowd a few steps back. The couple keeps ranting, their voices sharp and defensive, trying to twist the story into their favor. But the tone is shifting. The crowd isn't buying it anymore. A few people shake their heads. Someone mutters, "We all saw what happened." One of the officers, a tall man with calm eyes, disappears toward the store's security desk. Minutes pass, heavy with anticipation. The woman's defiance starts to crack. Her partner's confidence drains with every tick of the clock. Then the officer returns, holding a small tablet with security footage paused on the screen. He glances at his partner and gives a single nod. That's it. The truth is out. The man's shoulders slump. His face drains of color. The woman's voice falters mid-sentence, breaking like glass. I didn't mean," she stammers, but it's too late. The crowd knows. Everyone knows. The officers exchange a look, professional but firm. One of them turns toward Marcus, who's been standing quietly the whole time, his breathing steady but his eyes sharp, unreadable. The chaos fades around him like static falling away from a clear signal. And that's when the officer's gaze catches something. A small glint on Marcus's wrist. A metal bracelet, worn but polished, engraved with an insignia most people wouldn't notice. But he does. His eyes narrow, recognition sparking. "You served?" The officer asks softly. Marcus hesitates for a second, then nods. "Yeah," he says, his voice low. "Navy." The officer's tone shifts, quieter, almost reverent. "Special warfare?" A ripple moves through the onlookers, like wind through tall grass. A murmur starts, one of those instinctive sounds people make when they realize they're standing in front of someone extraordinary. The couple's bravado collapses. The woman goes pale, eyes darting between Marcus and the officers. The man swallows hard, his jaw trembling now, his earlier arrogance gone. Marcus nods once, reluctant but honest. "Years ago," he says. "But I didn't say anything because I didn't need to. I've seen what real danger looks like. This?" He glances around, eyes calm but heavy with meaning. "It didn't have to be that." The words hit harder than any shout could have. For a moment, nobody speaks. The silence isn't uncomfortable. It's respectful, the kind that humbles even the loudest hearts. The energy in the air changes completely. From the back of the crowd, an older man, wearing a faded army cap, straightens and lifts 2 fingers in a quiet salute. "Thank you," he says, his voice carrying across the parking lot. A few others echo him softly. "Thank you, sir." "God bless you." A young boy tugs his mother's sleeve, eyes wide with awe. "Mom," he whispers, "he's a hero." Marcus shakes his head gently. "I'm just a person trying to get groceries," he says, a tired but kind smile crossing his face. The boy grins anyway. The officer clears his throat. "We're charging them with assault and disorderly conduct," he says firmly. "You did the right thing by staying calm." The couple, suddenly so small, stands quietly, their earlier confidence now nothing more than a memory. The woman mutters something that might be an apology, but it's fragile, hollow. The man tries to meet Marcus's eyes but can't. He looks away, shame settling in like a weight he can't shake. Marcus steps closer, not to intimidate, but to teach. His voice is steady, grounded, the kind that carries truth more than volume. Words hurt, he says. Actions have consequences. You never know who someone is, or what they've been through. Respect should be automatic, not earned by rank or looks or clothes. Just automatic, no anger, no pride, just truth, plain, powerful, and undeniable. The officers nod. The crowd remains still, processing what they've just witnessed. Not a fight, but a lesson in restraint, dignity, in quiet strength. As Marcus picks up his fallen grocery bag, a light drizzle starts again. He looks up for a second, as if letting the rain wash the moment away. Then he turns and walks toward his car, steady, calm, and completely unaware that a dozen phones are still recording, capturing a story that will travel far beyond that parking lot. Because sometimes, the strongest person in the room isn't the loudest. It's the one who could fight, but chooses peace instead. The crowd finally begins to thin out, their voices fading into scattered murmurs of disbelief and admiration. Some still linger by their cars, shaking their heads, whispering about what they'd just seen. Others quietly nod toward Marcus as they leave. Small gestures of respect, silent acknowledgements that something meaningful just unfolded in that parking lot. The store manager rushes out, still flustered but grateful. His voice trembles slightly as he says, "Sir, please, let us cover your groceries. It's the least we can do after what you went through." Marcus gives a faint smile, holding up his hands. "That's kind of you," he says. "But I didn't do anything for a reward," the manager insists, offering to bag everything, even reaching for his wallet. But Marcus just shakes his head again, his calm unbroken. Finally, he accepts only a single cold bottle of water from the man's outstretched hand. "Hydration," he says lightly, twisting the cap open. Not applause. A few people nearby chuckle softly, the tension easing. For the first time since the shouting began, the air feels normal again. The heat of the afternoon hums against the pavement, and the smell of asphalt mixes with the faint sweetness of grocery store bread, wafting from the automatic doors. Marcus walks back to his car, each step measured, unhurried. The blacktop is still warm beneath his boots, the kind of warmth that rises up and lingers long after the storm passes. He unlocks the door, sets the bag down gently, and leans against the side of the car for a moment. Then, as the noise around him quiets, he pulls out his phone. The screen reflects the sunlight, a faint glare across his weathered expression. He hits record, not to post online, not for fame, but for memory. For truth. For anyone who might someday need to hear it, his voice is steady, low, and full of conviction. Strength isn't shouting, he says into the lens. Power isn't pushing. It's choosing calm when your blood is boiling. It's stopping harm, even when you could win. He pauses, his eyes flicking toward the horizon where the sunlight breaks through a thin layer of cloud. 10 minutes, he continues. That's all it took for the truth to show up. He stops recording, slips the phone back into his pocket, and just stands there for a moment. Not triumphant. Not proud, just thoughtful, across the lot. The couple sits quietly on the curb, heads bowed. Their energy is gone, replaced by a stillness that borders on regret. Maybe this is the beginning of their lesson. Maybe it'll fade the moment they drive away. But for now, they're silent. And that silence feels like progress. The officers finish their paperwork and drive off. The last bystander waves toward Marcus before heading inside the store. The world moves on, as it always does. But something about that patch of pavement feels different now. A space that, for a brief moment, held both cruelty and compassion, ignorance and grace, and somehow ended with understanding. A few cars over, the same kid who had whispered, "He's a hero," tugs at his mother's sleeve. "Mom," he says, "he didn't even yell." His mother smiles softly. That's what real strength looks like. They walk away, the boy glancing back once more at the quiet man by the car, an image that will stay with him long after childhood. Not of a fight, not of victory, but of control. As Marcus finally starts the engine, the air hums with a new kind of peace. The parking lot, once echoing with anger and accusation, now holds nothing but the sound of a cooling breeze and a man's quiet exhale. Before pulling out, Marcus glances at his rearview mirror, seeing the couple still seated in silence. He shakes his head slightly, not in judgment, but in understanding, and drives away without another word, because some lessons don't need to be shouted. Some are written in stillness. And as the sun dips lower, one thought lingers like an echo of truth. You never know the battles strangers have already fought. You never know the weight they carry. But you always know the right choice. Respect. If that moment grabbed you, tap like right now so more people see it. Share this with someone who needs a reminder that calm is powerful. And if you want more stories that flip scripts and reveal the truth underneath everyday life, hit subscribe and ring the bell, because the next one might change the way you see the world in the first 10 seconds.